Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of, you guessed it, the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Now put on your seatbelts because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus 10,
Let's
9,
go.
8, 7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3.
3,
Come on.
2, 1,
Yeah,
0.
baby.
Ignition.
Let's get moving.
Liftoff. Liftoff.
Okay, here we go. Come on. Get ready. Hold on to your strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. And get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. Come on. Let's go. That's right, folks. It is the show with no name. An English show where you have fun while you laugh and learn. Welcome, show with no namers. Welcome. That applause is for all of you, especially Anix, Chris Valrol, Marisol, Nuria, and the gentlemen who have participated, Alfonso and Mario. Wow, guys, I'm proud of you. I am proud of each and every one of you who participated in our question of the week, our weekly speaking section. And this week, we are taking a look at one of the easiest meals to prepare, in your opinion, of course. Your go-to easy meal. Go-to que siempre recurres a ello. You always resort to it when you don't know what to make, when you're short on resources or time. So we've got some really great answers from Anix, Chris Valrol, Marisol, Nuria, Alfonso, and Mario. We'll be hearing from them a little bit later on in today's show. Also, a quick reminder, you got some special deals going on over in the Vaughn sphere. Our Christmas intensives. Wow, what an awesome course. As I said, I've worked on the Christmas and the summer intensives. And yeah, don't let the name fool you. It is intensive, but at the same time, it's tons of fun. And you will definitely improve leaps and bounds. Muchísimo. And again, it's 1 week of just hardcore, practicing English. And that's one of the great things about our classes. You're not just learning, but you're actually speaking in our classes. Again, we always stress the importance of speaking, not just knowing, bueno, esto es el presente perfecto continuo. Great. Do you know how to use it? Because that's the real question. And that's what our teachers are always drilling, practicando, haciendo ejercicios. So if you want more information, I don't remember, but I think it was around almost a 40% discount on that now. Plus, I'm sure we've got tons of other deals going on. All you have to do is go to our website, grupovon.com. Another way that you can find out more information, too, is if you're following us on social media. And for those of you who live in these amazing cities, Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza, well, stop by. We'd love to meet you. You can stop by and you can get your free level test. And this way you have an evaluation. You know where you stand on your English journey. And you can get that for free. You don't have to sign up. No one's going to force you, obligarte, to sign up for anything. That's just something we do with all our students before you start any program, or even if you want information about a program. And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I believe to go to Vaughan Town, you have to have like a 4.5 level on the Vaughan scale out of 10. I think it's around that 4.55. So, I mean, you can't just go to Vaughan Town if you don't really have a high English level. If you're a beginner, why? It's going to be too much for you. It's going to be overwhelming, and we're going to get the reverse effect. You're going to get the effect of saying, I'm never going to get this. This sucks. I don't understand a word. But if you've got that base and you already are familiar with the language, you know, you've traveled, you've used it at work, you've written emails in English, well, then this I was going to say course. It's not a course. This experience is for you. It's Vaughan Town. But again, if you want more information about any of our initiatives, you can go on over to our website. It's grupovaughan.com. And also for those of you who use social media, we're on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and all the rest of them. I don't know. I can't keep up anymore. I don't know if we're on TikTok, but hey, check it out. If you're on TikTok or any platform, go over to the search bar and then punch in grupovaughan.com. All right. Are you guys ready for your first challenge? I hope so. It's time for the Say What soundbite. Get up.
Say what?
Yes. Also, I've got some more information here. As I said, it's up to a 49% discount. I think I said 40 before. So that's almost 50% off our Curso Intensivo de Inglés, and you can get it during the Christmas season. Now, some of the perks, los beneficios. You've got online classes. That's an option. You know, this way you don't have to commute anywhere. Hey, it saves you some time. And I know everybody's trying to save time wherever possible. The groups are really small. I mean, we never go over really 5 or 6 students per group. And this way you get your talking time in as well as your listening and learning time. It goes from Monday to Friday. So it's during the week. It's 5 days. And it's the Vaughan method, which, as I just said, it's, you know, we don't even really write things down. You can. I mean, I urge my students to write things down just because I know in a 3-hour period, a 2-hour period, we go through a lot of different things. But if you only can do one thing, then I prefer you say what I'm teaching you, then write it down. Now, if you can do both, great. Because if you write it down, well, you might remember it more. If you say it, well, now your tongue, your mouth, your ears, right? They know what to do. They know the way it sounds. They know the way it feels, and you're familiarizing yourself with it. All right, so awesome stuff. As I said, 49% off. That is a real deal. Also, folks, next week's question of the week: what makes you jealous? Yeah, that's our last one of 2025. What makes you jealous or envious? Now, I know some people are thinking, well, I'm not really a jealous person. Yeah, but there's something like, I wish I had this, or I wish, I lived there, or I wish I did this for a living. So it doesn't have to be in a bad way either, right? Because I know instantly you think jealous. Well, wow, that's not a really attractive quality. So you can use jealous or envious. Obviously, jealousy, at least in English, is a little more negative than the word envious. Because envious, you're also giving somebody respect. You're saying, "Oh, I envy you. I envy what you do for a living. You're always helping people." So that doesn't have to be a bad thing. So you can use whichever word you want. Maybe you're a jealous person. I know a lot of people who are very jealous as well. So, what makes you jealous or envious? As always, you can send that over to my email address. It's aalonso@grupovon.com. Record it on your phone and keep it at around a minute. You can go a little bit over, a little bit under, and we'd love to hear from you. And you can send it there, aalonso@grupovon.com. You've got until Thursday evening. That's the cutoff, but I'm giving you the whole weekend as well. As I just said, this is for next week. We've already got everybody who's participating this week, and we'll hear from them in just a little bit. But right now, it's time for the Say What soundbite. All right, as always, listen carefully. Let's see what you can extract from the audio, and good luck. We'll have 4 chances to jot it all down.
From the first moment in that coffee shop, I knew that there was something special between us. I felt something that day, and those feelings have only gotten stronger with time. I can't imagine loving you more than I do right now.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. This book is the shit. It's available at Von Tienda. Also, you can pick it up at Amazon. You can pick it up at Casa del Libro. I even think they have it at Corte Inglés. It's called This Book is the Shit. It's my latest book. But don't forget, that's just one of the many books. I've got to ask our editorial or publishing department how many materials we have. In fact, I'm going to do that today because today I'll be seeing some of the people at Vaughn Radio, and maybe Rob Grams knows the answer to that question. But I'm going to take a guess, or I'm going to hazard a guess, as a totally native way of saying that we've got maybe 250 different materials, and I'm lowballing here. Lowballing is giving a low estimate. Just be careful with that word. We don't say estimate unless we're talking about the verb. The verb is, I want you to estimate how much it's going to cost. But if you use it as a noun, it's, I would like an estimate. The same thing with, we're going to graduate. Verbo. He is a graduate. Sustantivo. And there are many other words that fit into that category. I know it can be confusing, but that's exactly why I wanted to point it out. All right. Well, that was your Say What soundbite for the first time. Let's see what we have in store for you today in our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz, quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, amigos, this is your pop quiz here on the show with no name. And today we are taking a look at Aprende Inglés desde cero. A good translation would be learn English from square one, right? I think of the game hopscotch. How do you say this? I always forget it. I've looked it up many times, but, sometimes we are forgetful, especially as we get older. Hopscotch. This is rayuela. That's it. Or tejo, or truque. Or if you're in Honduras or Mexico, it's avión o avioncito. If you're in Colombia, it's golosa. Wow, a lot of different names for hopscotch. And that's, well, think about it. Hay cuadros. You can even grab some chalk, right? And you can write it. You can, you don't even need to have an official hopscotch board. You can make one anywhere you have pavement and a piece of chalk, and you put square one, you pones uno, then you put 2 and 3, then you put 4, that classic one. Well, hey, as I said, if you visualize idiomatic expressions, the chance of remembering them, it goes up tremendously. Another one, to go back to the drawing board. Now, usually this one means that it didn't work. Whatever you were trying to do, whatever you set out to do didn't work. So you've got to go back to the drawing board. Partir desde cero. Empezar de nuevo. And this one comes from architects. Architects, when they're designing a building or a bridge, now I imagine they use computers. But back in the day, they used to use a drawing board. And it was like this, what do you call it? Let's see what you call it in Spanish. I'm sure it has a name. Mesa de dibujo. Okay. Respirador, right? And it says, volver al punto de partida, empezar de cero, back to the drawing board. Now, see, the nuance is there. To start from square one means just, to start at the beginning. But to go back, fijaos, el back implica que vuelves. So it means that something went wrong. Something backfired is another way to say that. Algo salió por la culata, and, well, you know what? We've got to reorganize. We've got to come up with a new strategy and see how we can fix this issue or design this bridge or whatever you're setting out to do. All right, amigos. So this is Inglés desde cero. Now, I know what you're thinking. All of you are thinking, desde cero. Come on, man. I use native expressions. I don't need this desde cero. I don't have to start from the beginning. Okay, well, then that means you should have no problem with all of this stuff, right? If you are a super high level, then this should be a walk in the park. Pan comido. Now, Aprende Inglés desde cero is available at Von Tienda. It's available for $20.95. That's right, just under 21 euros. I mean, they're not fooling anyone there. 21 euros, and it comes with 7 hours of audio. You heard right, 7 hours of audio, and the bare bones, the essentials, the things you need to know if you want to, put together any structure, from the simplest structures. I am, you are, they were, right? He was, we were, all of these structures that you should not second guess for a second. Ni por un segundo deberías dudar. So it's always good to go back to square one. So join me in this audio right now. And as always, I'll have a couple questions for you afterwards. This is Inglés desde cero. And again, it's available at Von Tienda. It's got things that deal with grammar. It's got vocabulary, pronunciation, common mistakes, totally native expressions, and much, much more. So here goes.
2.13. Useful expression.
De nada.
You're welcome. Gracias. De nada.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Muchas gracias. De nada.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Muchísimas gracias. De nada.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Gracias. De nada.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Muchas gracias. De nada.
Thanks a lot. You're welcome.
Muchísimas gracias. De nada.
Thank you so much. You're very welcome. 2.14. Grammar. The one and the ones.
El bolígrafo rojo está en la mesa y el negro está en el suelo.
The red pen is on the table and the black one is on the floor.
La silla vieja está al lado del sofá y la nueva está allí.
The old chair is next to the sofa and the new one is over there.
El bolso amarillo es feo, pero el verde es muy bonito.
The yellow bag is ugly, but the green one is very pretty.
Este es barato y aquel es caro.
This one is cheap and that one is expensive.
Los lápices azules están en la mesa y los rojos están debajo de la silla.
The blue pencils are on the table and the red ones are under the chair.
Las manzanas rojas están allí. ¿Dónde están las verdes?
The red apples are over there. Where are the green ones?
Los pequeños son baratos y los grandes son caros.
The small ones are cheap and the big ones are expensive. 2.15. Common mistake.
Near of the window.
No, near the window.
El sofá está cerca de la ventana.
The sofa is near the window.
La mesa está cerca de la puerta.
The table is near the door.
Toledo está cerca de Madrid.
Toledo is near Madrid.
Barcelona no está cerca de Madrid.
Barcelona isn't near Madrid.
¿Huelva está cerca de Portugal? Sí, lo está.
Is Huelva near Portugal? Yes, it is.
¿Sevilla está cerca de Francia? No, no lo está.
Is Seville near France? No, it isn't.
La ventana está cerca de la calle.
The window is near the street.
El aeropuerto está cerca de aquí.
The airport is near here.
Vivo cerca del aeropuerto.
I live near the airport.
Él vive y trabaja cerca del aeropuerto.
He lives and works near the airport. 2.16. Basics. Numbers. 100 to 1 billion. 100. 101. 200. 300. 400. 500. 600. 700. 800. 900. 1000. 1001. 2000. 3000. 10,000. 50,000. 100,000. 500,000. 1 million. 1 billion. 379. 8,234. 25,681.
All right, there you go, folks. As I said, basic stuff, but stuff you need to know. And if you don't know this stuff, well, this is a great way to review it with Aprende Inglés desde cero. As I said, over 7 hours of audio. You hear my great friends Carmen and also Richard Brown in that audio. So that's great. You get all different accents. And that's another thing here at Vaughan. We pride ourselves, not just here on Vaughan Radio, where you'll hear the gamut of accents, but also in our classes. If you go to Vaughan Town, we've got teachers literally from every continent, because we know English is not an American thing. It's not a British thing. It is a global thing. And English is spoken by many people where it's not even their first language. So don't stress it. I always say that. Oh, what if I go to New York and I don't understand people? Well, I can tell you guys right now, most of you listening right now speak English better than, I would say, 30% of people who live in New York. Yeah, seriously. Well, again, there are people from all over the world. And English is not their first language. It's not their mother tongue. So don't stress it. Sometimes we're like, oh my God, have you been to New York? Have you talked to a taxi driver? Well, I think you're going to have to ask him to repeat it instead of him asking you to repeat it. All right, folks, we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with much more. So stick around. Hey, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to tune in to all the amazing programs we've got here. As I said, you've got every accent under the sun here on Vaughn Radio. All you have to do is download our free Vaughn Radio app, or you can download your favorite shows on whatever podcast platform you prefer. After today's show, you've got Speaking with Confidence with Ale, followed by the Lunchtime Show with Rob Grams. You've also got Speak English with Ruby. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Then you've got The Salad with Dave Boys. Looking forward to seeing Dave Boys later at our get-together. Nuestra Quedada, our Vaughn Radio get-together. Also, we've got Kyle Miller. Kyle Miller, I don't think he's ever missed a Vaughn Radio get-together. Ever. Kyle's not one to miss a party, so don't miss his show, Drive Time. Also, you know, he's got an amazing book called Business English, which is also available at Vaughn Tienda. And Chris Frank, he doesn't miss a party either. That's Chris Frank and his program, Frankly Speaking. And I'm not sure if Richard Vaughn is going to be there. That would be great. Richard doesn't like to miss any parties either, but he's also a really busy guy. Naturally. But hopefully we'll see Richard later on. You can catch him every day on Richard Vaughn Live. You can also catch him on our exclusive podcast with iVox called Baugan Ingles 4.0. In the mornings, you've got the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. And you've also got the one and only Fitz. Fitz is the guy who trained all of us, most of us. So if you like your Vaughn teacher, say thanks to your buddy and my buddy, our buddy, I should say, Fitz. And you can tune into his program, No Excuses, right before this show every day. All right, well, let me give you the Say What soundbite here. I'm going to give it to you for the second time. I don't think it's going to be too challenging today. We shall see.
From the first moment in that coffee shop, I knew that there was something special between us. I felt something that day, and those feelings have only gotten stronger with time. I can't imagine loving you more than I do right now.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend Because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. That's right, folks. This book is the shit, along with many other amazing materials, including Aprende Inglés desde cero, which we're taking a look at in today's pop quiz. All right, let me give you the challenges for today's pop quiz, and then we'll check in with our students who are here in the live feed. All right, now, the first one we looked at, you're welcome. Really important to know that. In fact, I had a student once who told me, I said, hey, thanks, Johnny, or whatever his name was. And he said, what did he say? He said, nothing. We don't say nada. Nada, hombre. Nothing, man. I remember I had another student. He was from Almeria. And even though the classes were in Valencia, and I walked into the class, I was like, hey, how's it going, Joaquin? And he goes, here we are. Aquí estamos. I love it. Okay, I understood him perfectly. But yeah, that's not as natural in English. Say, here we are. Aquí estamos. Aquí estamos. He was from Almeria, so I could hear him saying, aquí estamos. I love it. A shout out to all my amigos in Almeria. All right, so you're welcome. Really important one to know. Or as Richard Brown said as well, you're very welcome. Give me another way to say it. What is another way to say you're welcome in English? All right. Number 2, we looked at the word cheap, the two adjectives cheap and expensive. Well, you know what? I want synonyms. And I'll tell you why, because if you say the word cheap, it also sounds like cutre. So there are other ways to say cheap without sounding like, oh man, this desk is really cheap, because that can also mean it's barato como mal hecho. All right. So we're looking, you know me, I love synonyms. I love different ways to express things. And you know where we get synonyms? From watching movies, from reading, right? We learn other ways to express ourselves. So we're looking at a lot of synonyms today. The first one is a synonym for you're welcome. Another way of telling somebody you're welcome. Okay. Number 2, and you can put them in a sentence. You can even use the same kind of sentence. Este de aquí, pero el otro, right, es caro. So a synonym for cheap and a synonym for expensive. And the last one, I'm going to give you guys some numbers, because we looked at some numbers in there. And, well, I want to see if you guys have got your numbers down pat. Okay, I'll say them twice. I'm going to give you 3 numbers that I want, and they're different. One of them is a price, one is a fraction, and one of them is a date. Okay? Are you ready? The first one is $1,234,567. The next one is 2/3 And the next one is November 19th, 1977. Okay, let me give you those numbers again. Are you ready? You got to be paying attention for this one. The first one is $1,234,567. The next one is 2/3. And the last one is November 19th, 1977. Now, I'm saying it in the American way. The British say it in a different way. And that can cause a bit of confusion. Where did I see that recently? Oh, that's what it was. There was I forget what group it was. There was a British group that went to the United States, or they were supposed to go to the United States. Maybe it was Biffy Clyro. They're a band from Scotland. And their tour manager, he applied for the American visa. El visado que necesita cualquiera para ir a trabajar en un sitio. And they put the date in the European way. Well, guess what? They had to cancel the concerts because they didn't have the approved visas for the dates that they were going. I don't know if they were able to figure it out, but I remember reading it, and even you're thinking, wow, we speak the same language. Well, in their case, they've had to cancel and reschedule. Another way of saying cancel is to call off. They've had to call off and reschedule several dates in the United States. And I imagine, again, they were saying it was because their tour manager, when they applied for their visas, put the date, if it was 12 del 11, well, they put 11 del 12. So with this kind of stuff, what I would always say is write it out. You know what? You can eliminate all doubt that way. If you've got it written out, it's very clear it's November. Now, it's easy if it's, el 22 del 11, because you're like, bueno, no hay 22 meses. But you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry. Mejor prevenir que curar, as you guys say in Spanish. So when in doubt, especially when things have to do with numbers, dates and things like that, write it out. Write it out. Make sure that you're being crystal clear. Who knows? Your tour dates could be canceled. And I imagine that little mistake cost them a pretty penny. A pretty penny. Bastante. Basta. Hey, we're looking at cheap. We're looking at expensive. We're looking at prices over here in our third one. So there you go, folks. Those are your pop quiz challenges. Good luck. We'll see how you guys do. Let's see who's in the house and ready to rock today. We've got Chris Valrol checking in. There she is. What's up, Chris? Great to have you on board. And we're looking forward to hearing from you a little bit later on in our question of the week. And she says, morning, awesome show with no-namers. Morning to you, Chris. Always great to have your energy here leading the team. That's right. You, Born to Iron Man, Elena, I would call you guys the team captains, the team leaders. Now, we don't say captain, captain. Dilo conmigo. Piensa que la palabra sin la I. Captain. Oh, sin la I y cambiamos la A a una E. Captain. So you three, I would say, are the team captains. Okay? You're always leading the rest of the group, which is awesome. We need leaders and we need followers, right? That's always been the way in life, right? So thank you to you three for being leaders. In fact, the other day, I didn't tell you guys this, but I'll tell you. I like to be straight up with you. Honesto con vosotros. The other day when, I don't know if it was the day before the trivia night or the day after the trivia night, but Elena wasn't here. Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol weren't here, right? Because you guys were traveling, desplazándoos. And there were like maybe 12 people live on the video live stream, and nobody was participating. So you know what I did? I just cut the live stream. I don't need to do the live stream. I do the live stream so you guys can participate. But if nobody's participating, it's real simple. I'll just record the audio and I don't have to show my face. So I'm sure some of you thought there was a glitch the other day. No, un problema técnico. No, I just said, well, I'm not going to sit here and just, talk to myself. I can do that without having the video on. So sorry if you were one of those people, but you got to show signs of life, because if there are 12 people there and nobody has any idea of anything, you can just listen to the podcast afterwards, right? Easier for everybody. Then I don't have to do the whole visual show here and, hey, look at me, the clown, So thank you. And we noticed your absence. As I said, even though there were many people, everybody was sitting on their hands, which is okay. But as I said, I just said, well, there's no need to continue the live stream, the video stream. I'll just record the audio. That's fine. So that's what I'll do in the future too. If I notice that there are a lot of people but no one's participating, there's no point. No sirve de nada. You can always listen to it. You don't have to watch it live in order to do that, unless of course you want to see my handsome face. I get it then. I totally get it. All right, let's take a look. Grace says, I heard an American girl. She's referring to our Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard an American girl who's wearing her heart on her sleeve. Are you serious? Sincerándose, right? She is not hiding her emotions. She's being very frank, being very straight. Right? Wow. Excellent expression, Chris. As I said, a team leader. She's wearing her heart on her sleeve, and she's declaring her love for the boy she's dating. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I'm curious if you guys recognize her voice. I'll give you a clue. It's from a very popular sitcom, okay? A sitcom, what's the difference between a sitcom and a series? Well, a series is more like Sopranos, Sex and the City, Breaking Bad, and a sitcom is a situational comedy. Cámara Café, the Friends, Seinfeld, that's more of a sitcom. So this is from a sitcom, all right? A very popular sitcom, I must add. All right, and there's our other team leader checking in, born to Iron Man, and I imagine you're thinking about those answers there. I wonder if anybody got today's pop quiz. Well, the first two are pretty easy. It's that last one where I shot some numbers your way. All right, well, I'll tell you what. In the meantime, we're going to kick off today's question of the week because, as you guys know, time is of the essence. Aquí cuentan los segundos. So let's rock and roll.
Question of the week.
All right, it is question of the week, and we are going to hear from someone who is another team leader. Even though she's not always here live with us, she's always leading the way, marcando el camino, especially when it comes to question of the week. And it's great to hear from her. I gave her a new nickname, Miss Personality. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Anix, and she's going to tell us about the easiest dish to prepare in her book, right? As far as she's concerned, in her book. You used that expression yesterday, Chris, and you made me very proud. All right, here she is, Anix.
Morning, this is Anix. Well, in my opinion, the easiest dish to cook is pasta.
Hi, folks.
You need just to boil for 20 minutes or so, a little amount of it, and then add a sauce, some veggies, or even meat.
That's great. Pasta. That's the thing, too, about pasta. You can make it a million different ways. You can make a pasta primavera, which is with veggies and some garlic and some olive oil, or you can make a bolognese, or you can make frutti di mare. And again, if you know what you're doing, it takes 10 minutes, 15, 20 tops to boil the water and prepare the pasta, and then you can saute it in the pan. And by the way, Anix, I'm loving the background sound of the birds chirping. It's beautiful.
whatever floats your boat, or
Whatever floats your boat, lo que te mole a ti.
both of them. And voila, you have a good dish. And I also have to say that maybe my opinion is biased because
Sesgado, I love it. You sound great, Anix. My opinion is biased.
I love pasta. I'm not good at cooking, and I could eat pasta almost every day. Okay?
Same
Bye-bye,
here.
guys.
Same here, Anix. I could eat pasta every day. Not with the same sauce, but again, there are 1,000,001 kinds of pasta. There are 1,000,001 ways to prepare pasta. And if you switch it up, vas haciendo el cambiazo, it's pretty easy. Now, I don't know if you're here with us live, but what's your favorite kind of pasta? I've got to say, I like stuffed pasta. So I like ravioli. Ravioli are excellent. Linguine is nice too. The flat spaghetti. Oh man, I knew this was going to happen. My mouth is literally watering right now. Yes, I'm hungry. All right. Well, hey, I asked, and Anix, you did a wonderful job. You sounded confident. You had some really native expressions in there, and I second the motion as far as your choice, pasta. And that's one of my daughter's favorite dishes. I just got to make sure I put the protein in there as well, so she's not just eating carbs, carbohydrates. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's something easy. Really? Do you know how many times I've had mushy pasta? Makes me want to throw up. Mushy, que se pasan la coacción. Right? It's mushy. It's como lo aplasta. It's got to be al dente. And the trick for making it al dente is you got to remember it's going to cook for another minute or two in the sauce, right? If you're going to saute it with some garlic and some shrimp, unas gambas y ajo, you got to remember that that's going to cook it more. So always undercook it a little bit when you're boiling it so that when you serve it, it's perfect. It's al dente. All right. Excellent job, Anix. We're going to hear from Marisol.
Hi, it's Marisol. The easiest dish to cook, personally speaking, is homemade crepe/pizza.
Wow. Crepe/pizza. You've got my attention, Marisol.
First of all, place some spinach into a big plastic jar,
Excellent pronunciation. Spinach, no spinach. Very good.
like an 800 milliliter kind of jar. Then peel 2 or 3 carrots and cut them and place them into the jar.
Okay, so you cut them, or did you say cook them or cut them? Ahí me he perdido. Y muy bien, no dijiste carrots, sino carrots. Suena más como it, como aquello. Carrots. Good job so far.
Secondly, add 1 egg, some chopped almonds, pour around 200 milliliter of any type of milk, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and some salt. After that, blend them all. When it's blended, add around 200 milligrams of flour and back to blend it again.
Now, this sounds pretty elaborate, but I imagine it's like everything. It's like learning English. Once you've done it a million times, it just gets easier and easier. Let's continue.
Later on, lay the mixture in a tray with an oven paper. Afterwards, put the tray into the oven and leave it for around 15 minutes at 190 degrees.
190 degrees. And cuidado, estás pronunciando tray. Parece que dices trail, right? Tray. Bandeja, I think is what you want to say.
When it's finished, you can decorate it with any toppings you like most. The texture will be soft. It takes around 10 minutes to make the mix and 15 minutes to cook. It's so simple to do it and very healthy. Greetings to all Showing on Namers. Bye.
That's great, Marisol. Yeah, I was noticing that as you were as you were going over the key ingredients, I said, wait, this sounds healthy too, because obviously that's something I think everybody's been thinking about. I mean, it's something at least we need to be aware of, conscientes, how healthy is something. Because if you say, well, my favorite dish to make is, bacon with hamburgers. Okay, that's great, but you can't eat that every day. Maybe once a week, but that sounds extremely healthy, and it sounds a bit complicated. But you know what? As I said before, you know how to make it quickly because you've made it many times. So excellent job so far to Anix and to Marisol. Right now, folks, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. We're halfway through the show right now. We still have to hear from Chris, Val, Rol, Nuria, Alfonso, and Mario. We're going to hear about some more tasty dishes that are easy to prepare. Also, Born to Iron Man, taking a stab at our pop quiz. Looks good, buddy. We'll take a look at that in just a moment as well. We've got a lot of stuff to do in the second half of today's show. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Now, say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the second half of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Great job so far in our question of the week. I am getting hungry here. Anix and Marisol have shared some awesome recipes. In this part of the show, we're going to hear from Chris, Val, Rol, Nuria, 2 students who always participate in our weekly speaking section. Alfonso, who participates pretty often Hats off, Alfonso. You're making me proud. And Mario. Wow, guys. Yeah, well, it's usually the ladies who take this section, but it looks like the guys have risen to the challenge. Great. Great. If it gets you speaking more, if it makes you more confident, well, that's what we're trying to do here, isn't it? Yeah, one thing is making a mistake or two, and another thing is feeling more confident every time you open your mouth in English. But that only comes from exposing yourself to the language, hearing it over and over again, saying it over and over again until you instinctively know what's right and what's wrong. As I said, as a native would. If I ask any native speaker, and I don't mean someone in academia, any native speaker, and I say to them, what verb tense did you just use? They're going to say, I don't know, but I know I said it right. Right? All right, in this part of the show, we're going to kick things off with our homophones. We'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. We'll check the pop quiz answers and so much more. All right, folks, you know what time it is. It's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show it no, show it no, show it no.
All right, folks, it is time for homophones. Whoa, we've got something going on here in the background. All right, well, that's our first word, carrera. Yeah, carrera. It's also hacer carreras. Correr, right? It's also raza, the word raza, the human raza. Okay. What else? I know it's got many other meanings. So hacer carreras, carrera, echar una carrera. And it's, I guess, usually it's used in that way. Okay. So carrera, echar una carrera, and raza. Okay. Now, not raza de perro. We looked at that one. That one is breed, right? It's a false friend because in Spanish, it's the same word. All right, that second word we're looking for here is the word levantar o subir. It's also un incremento if we're talking about American English. In British English, it's another word. We'll take a look at that. No, ha pedido un aumento. It's also recaudar. We use it with recaudar fondos. Okay. It's also criar. Mi madre crió dos niños, dos hijos. Okay. So it's definitely another one of those useful words that you need to know. If you add the word hell to it at the end, it means armar un escándalo. Okay, so we'll take a look at many of the different meanings afterwards. The first one is carrera, hacer carreras, and the second one is levantar. It's un aumento. It's also criar. It's also, what was the other one I said? Criar and levantar. Animar, it can be as well. Aumentar. Wow. Yeah. Another one of those rich words, cultivar as well. That was the other one, recaudar. All right, those are your two words. Do you know them? And do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite here for the third time. Here we go.
From the first moment in that coffee shop, I knew that there was something special between us. I felt something that day, and those feelings have only gotten stronger with time. I can't imagine loving you more than I do right now.
Nunca he entendido por qué a la gente le hacía gracia el personaje de Spider Cerdo de la película de los Simpsons. Es que no tiene gracia.
¿Cuál dices? ¿Spider-Ham?
Spider-Ham,
Es graciosísimo en inglés.
Claro, tiene todo el sentido. Es como la araña jamón.
Eso es.
Claro, tiene sentido que sea un cerdo. Y su identidad secreta es...
Peter Porker en vez de Peter Parker.
Ah, claro, tiene sentido. Porker, que es como...
A porker es un gordito y viene de pork, que es cerdo.
Ah, tiene todo el sentido del mundo. Así da gusto aprender con This Book is the Shit, el tercer libro de Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
No te pierdas nuestro método Milky. Vas a aprender un montón porque en realidad ya lo sabías todo.
That's right, folks. You can pick up all those materials over at grupovon.com. And again, it's wherever fine books are sold. And you can get that book. You can also get Inglés desde cero, which, by the way, we need to take a look at Born to Iron Man over here. He has given us the pop quiz answers. Also, Chris says, I think I know this girl, referring to the girl in the Say What soundbite. She says, I think I know this girl and her peculiar boyfriend. Oh, yeah. And his friends are peculiar, too. Odd people. Yeah, quite odd. Brainy, muy inteligentes, but socially awkward in many cases. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man said, thank you so much for your good reception at the trivia night. And he says, oh, don't mention it. Excellent job. Don't mention it is another way of saying you're welcome. Don't mention it. Ni lo menciones. Vamos, sin problema. You're welcome. Don't mention it. Wow. Born to Iron Man. I love it. That's exactly the one I had written down here. All right, let's see. The next one. If I had to buy a new bike, I'd rather this economical one than that costly one. Tienes que poner one otra vez. Than that costly one over there. Economical. Costly. Another way of saying cheap, a better way of saying cheap. Affordable, that's another good one. Affordable, economical, and costly is a really good way of saying expensive. You can also say steep. You can say dear, como querido, same word, right? So excellent job. Born to Iron Man. The only thing, we're just missing a one. Then that costly one over there. And let's see, the last one is three numbers and different facets here. We've got $1,234,567. Excellent job. And I was testing not just the number, but if you put the dollar sign in front of it, because I know you put euros after, right? When you write euro, well, in English, we put the dollar sign before the price. So that's great. And if you notice, the numbers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. And basically, instead of decimal points, we put commas. O sea, cambiamos donde vosotros ponéis comas y nosotros ponemos puntos. And Born to Iron Man wrote it perfectly. The next one is 2/3, dos tercios. Sí, dos tercios cuando puedas. We just call them bottles of beer, right? And the last one, November 19th, 1977. That was the day I was born. That's right. So I knew that date, and I couldn't believe me. I can't forget it. And really, the person who can't forget that date is my mom. She was the one doing all the work that day. Excellent job. Born to Iron Man. Great. Chris says, I guess you can't see my pop quiz answers. I'll try again. Yeah, no, I don't see any here, Chris. Let's see. Nope. No, for some reason, you've been censored by YouTube. Oh, that stinks. That really stinks. Let's see. Born to Iron Man is participating in our homophone section. He gives us the two words correctly, and he says they don't sound alike. Chris Valrol agrees and says they're not homophones. All right, well, let me say both words here. Okay, we are going to raise money, recaudar fondos, for the race. Lo digo otra vez. We're going to raise money for the race. Do they sound the same? Absolutely not. Raise. It's a regular verb, so it's raised. Solo añadimos el sonido de ahí. Raised. We raised a lot of money for the race. Okay, let's look at some rhyming words. Race rhymes with pace, ritmo, right? It rhymes with face. Es una S pura y dura. It rhymes with case. And raise rhymes with days. Rhymes with ways. ¿Ves? Es más una feta ese sonido ahí. And Born to Iron Man says, in the other hand, no, on the other hand, en cambio, tenemos que cambiar ese in a on. On the other hand, raze, which is to tear something down, to destroy something, R-A-Z-E is a homophone, not an homophone, sino a homophone of raise. Absolutely. Wow. He went a step further over there. Excellent job, Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol, our superstar students. All right, let's hear from, speaking of, Chris Valrol.
Hi, folks. It's Chris Valrol. My favorite easy peasy is the French omelette. You can fill it with whatever you want.
Easy peasy. Okay, mi favorito fácil. But you mean recipe, right? Easy peasy recipe is the French omelet. That's true. You can get creative with French omelets.
Also, scrambled eggs.
Cuidado, scrambled eggs. O sea, la D de scrambled se une con eggs. Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. Oh, yeah. That's what you call un revuelto.
You can make a plain vegetable cream just by boiling the veggies and blending them, for instance. And to wrap up, I want to mention, just in case you don't know it, the trinchata alla Sardagna.
No, I haven't heard of that. Sounds delicious already.
Because it's easy and delicious. You can find a recipe online.
A recipe. Be careful with the pronunciation. Recipe. You can find a recipe online.
Step by step, but basically it's boiled, well-drained and mashed cabbage and potatoes, which are fried in a pan with bacon and chopped garlic.
You just said the magic word, bacon and chopped garlic. Yum.
You can serve it with a boiled or sunny-side-up egg. And you can also add some mushrooms. It's really delicious. Thank you. Bye-bye.
My mouth is freaking watering right now. And I had breakfast. So, man, imagine if I hadn't had breakfast. Seriously. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I've worked up quite an appetite right now listening to all your easy peasy recipes. All right, let's see who's up next. Up next, we've got Nuria.
Hey there, Alberto and Sabina Namers. What's cooking?
What's
It's
cooking?
Nuria
Me encanta.
speaking.
Que se cuece. Nice one. What's cooking? Perfect for this question of the week.
Regarding this week's question, what's the easiest dish I make? I believe that the salad is a piece of cake. Besides, it's healthy and delicious, and it can be prepared in under 15 minutes. I must confess that I love cooking, but when my schedule is packed, I need to use my noodle to find a menu for each day of the week.
To use my noodle, usar el coco, la cabeza. Wow, totally native there.
Because, I have a lot on my plate.
I have a lot on my plate. Nuria, can I tell you something? You have just used 4 or 5 food puns. I imagine you did it on purpose, but wow, wow, very creative.
And on many occasions, I'm pressed for time. In a nutshell, this
In a nutshell, otra que tiene que ver con comida. Nuria, you are knocking it out of the park this week. Well, you always do, but wow, brilliant. Pun after pun after pun.
is dish you can make in no time is a simple pasta salad or a tuna salad sandwich or a simple salad with tomatoes, burrata, oil, and oregano.
Yummy.
These salads only take you under 5 or 10 minutes to be prepared and require minimal effort. That's all for now. Take care, amigos. Thank you.
Yeah, and the great thing about salads, it's kind of like pasta. You know, you've got really 1,000,001 options. There are so many different kinds of lettuce, so many different veggies you can throw in there, from mushrooms to tomatoes. You can make pasta salad, tuna salad. Amazing. Amazing. Now, here's something. Speaking of salads, you call them Russian salad, little Russian salad, ensaladilla rusa, right? Well, for us, it depends what it has. So, si está hecho con patatas, it's potato salad with mayonnaise, right? If it's made with pasta, it's pasta salad. If it's made with tuna, it's tuna salad. So we don't use the little Russian thing when we talk about that kind of mayonnaise salad, but it's true. You can even throw couscous in a salad, bacon bits. Oh man, salads. That's another thing that you can never get bored of because there are so many different options out there. And not just salads, but the dressings as well. Aliños. You can do a balsamic vinaigrette. You can do more of like a creamy kind of cheesy Caesar, the ensalada César. So great, excellent, Nuria. Wonderful puns there. I think there were about 5 or 6 different food puns in your audio. So that was absolutely brilliant. All right, up next, we've got another student who has been participating, and you can really tell, se nota muchísimo, you can really tell that he's been improving not only his English, but his confidence. So keep it up. Here he is, Alfonso.
Hi, Alberto. It's Alfonso from Ruby again. I've said that a very easy dish to prepare would be any kind of sandwich. But if it has to be something a bit more substantial, I'd go for a sunny side up fried egg.
Yummy, sunny side up. Esto es huevo con el sol hacia arriba. Sunny side up, huevo frito. Sunny side up. That's what I had for breakfast. And isn't there just something simply delicious about a sunny side up egg? Oh man, you dip the bread. Oh God, it's so good.
With extra virgin olive oil.
Absolutely.
So you can dip some bread into the yolk afterwards and enjoy a perfect Spanish-style fried egg.
Just be careful. Yolk, right? You said like there was a weird pronunciation. Yolk is la yema. Now, let me tell you a little secret I have. I know you're going to say it's una americanada or whatever, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely delicious. Try it next time. Make a mix in your pan of extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of butter. Mix them together and let them cook up together, and then fry your egg in that. You're welcome.
That's comfort food at its finest. Well then, see you in the next question of the week. Merry Christmas, by the way. Hi,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Comfort food. That's a great word too. Comfort food. Food that makes us feel good. It makes us feel like we're at home. And there's nothing like a fried egg. Sunny side up, always in my case, because I love the whole dipping thing. It makes it an adventure. All right, last but not least, let's hear from Mario.
Hi everyone, Mario here. This time I'd like to share with you one of the easiest and most well-balanced recipes I know. In fact, I had that today as a side dish with some meat, rice, chestnuts, and mushrooms. First off, you want to grab a sweet potato and peel it.
Okay, so chestnuts. We looked at this word the other day. It's, I always forget it in Spanish. Chestnut. Oh man, are you kidding me? You know what? I hate that because sometimes you have castaña. You have too many words in your head, and even though you know the word, you forget it. All right, chestnuts sound great already.
Then chop it in slices or cubes of about 3-4 centimeters and put them in a steam case high power in the microwave.
Okay.
5 minutes 30 will be enough. Meanwhile, break 2 large eggs in a pan with some olive oil and scramble them with a spatula. Personally, I like
Just be careful. Spatula.
silicone over wood since it's easier to clean. And then add a pinch of salt to the eggs. And when the sweet potato is done, dump it in a bowl or soup dish. You want to use this type since some water from the steam will come out too. Finally, add the scrambled eggs on top and mix everything together with some drops of olive oil, spices, or extra salt to taste. I like this simple dish since it's very healthy and easy to cook. And as I said at the beginning, for me it's perfect because it has good amount of carbs, protein, and good fats also. To kick off your day avoiding a glucose spike and stay satisfied. All right, that was it. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Excellent job, Mario. Sounds delicious. Sounds nutritious. And I have a feeling Mario knows what he's talking about, the glucose spike. You seem like this isn't your first rodeo as far as cooking is concerned. Well, excellent job to all of you who participated. Thank you very much, and keep up the great work. Right now, it's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, here we go, folks. We don't have too much time. So your first word is, are you ready? Formula space ONE. The next one is MAX space VERSTAPPEN. The third one, 2021 space ABU space DHABI space GRAND space PRIX. The fourth one is LEWIS space HAMILTON. The next one is FIRST space CHAMPION. And the last one is THE space NETHERLANDS. Wow. Man, that was fast. So if you got that one, wow, wow, and wow. All right. I can give you another 20 seconds or so, 20, 30 seconds. And then we've got to get back into round two, or should I say the second lap. La segunda vuelta, because obviously it has something to do with races today. And racing, well, we already looked at how to pronounce it in homophones, so you shouldn't have any problem there. All right, going once, going twice. This is round two. FORMULA space ONE. The next one, MAX space VERSTAPPEN. The next one is 2021 space ABU space DHABI space GRAND space PRIX. The fourth one is LEWIS space HAMILTON. The fifth one is FIRST space CHAMPION. And the last one is THE space NETHERLANDS. Heerlands. Amigos, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Stay tuned and you can continue to learn English with all my amigos here on Vaughn Radio. Right after today's show, you can learn to speak with confidence with Ale. And I hope, fingers crossed, I hope I can meet Ale today. I'm not sure if she's going to our get-together, but I've never met her in person. So hopefully I'll get to meet Ale. She seems wonderful. I've sent some messages back and forth. Be catching up with a lot of my buddies today, poniéndome al día to catch up. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man says, well done, mates. I love French omelets, Chris. And if it's served with tomatoes and cheese, oh my God, it's the icing on the cake indeed. You know what I love, Born to Iron Man? I did love that pun, but I'd love it if you participated in the question of the week. I think you would be a wonderful addition, and we need some more guys, right? All right, amigos, lots and lots to do here in the fourth and final part of today's show. So why don't we kick things off with another challenge? It's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's double trouble here on the show with no name. All right, here we go. Well, since we're talking about races today, and well, I figured we could link it to that in some way. So there's a little clue for today's double trouble. Vas por buen camino. Vas bien, pero no pierdas la noción del tiempo. Okay, so vas por buen camino. Vas bien. I've said this to you many times, students. Pero no pierdas la noción del tiempo. Okay? That is your double trouble. You've got to use the same word twice. You already know that. Good luck, my amigos. So here we go then. We've got, what else? Oh, right. The Say What soundbite. Here it is for the fourth and final time.
From the first moment in that coffee shop, I knew that there was something special between us. I felt something that day, and those feelings have only gotten stronger with time. I can't imagine loving you more than I do right now.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. If you want more information about Vaughntown or our special deal going on that you almost get 49% off on our Christmas intensives, go to grupovon.com or follow on social media and you can get all the information you're looking for. All right, let's take a look over here. Chris Valrol is the first one to participate in our Double Trouble, and she says you're on the right track, but don't lose track of time. Yes. Vas bien. Encarrilado, piénsalo, vas en los carriles, right? Because a train track, but also a track is una pista de audio y pista de carreras, right? So you're on the right track. Now, if someone's not on the right track, we say they're off track. You're off track. No vas encarrilado, no vas bien. So we can use it in both senses there. They're antonyms. You're on the right track, but don't lose track of time. Excellent job, Chris. Also, Born to Iron Man. Excellent job. Both of my model students nailing it. Born to Iron Man says, you want me to participate in the question of the week, and so do I. It's my New Year's resolution. Well, as I always say, only if you need to practice your speaking, which I imagine everybody listening could use a little speaking practice, right? Les vendría bien. I mean, I like to practice my Spanish speaking whenever I can. You know, any opportunity I can, I like to try and, see if I'm using things right. Get in there, get in the conversation, So don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Do it for the guys team. It's not a race. It's not a race. All right, let's talk about races. Speaking of, we've got our spelling bee and Born to Iron Man. It looks like you got them right. Let me just take a look over here. The first one is correct. The second one's correct. The third one is, yep, the third one is correct. The fourth, fifth, and sixth. Chris Valrol also. The first one's right. The second one, the third one, you put 221 or 221. I said 2021, que es el año, so sería 2021. All right, so not bad. The rest looks right. So just a little mistake there with the numbers. All right, so what did today's story have to tell? Because as you know, everything in our spelling bee are little pieces of a story of something that happened in history. Well, today in the year 2021, at the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We don't say Grand Prix, we say Prix. The X is silent in English. And what happened was Dutch Formula One racing driver Max Verstappen. There's no stopping him. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Couldn't help it. Remember, we say racing driver, racer, driver. We don't say pilot, though. Okay. Dutch Formula One driver Max Verstappen won the controversial 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He beat 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton to become the first Formula One world champion to come from the Netherlands, Los Países Bajos. So number one was Formula One. We also call it F1 or Formula One. Number two was Max Verstappen, the champ, no stopping him. Number three was the race, the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Number four was his adversary, Lewis Hamilton. Number five describes Max Verstappen, the first champion to come from, number six, the Netherlands, Los Países Bajos. So excellent job in today's Spelling Bee. And right now, folks, we are heading to one of my favorite places where some of my earliest memories come from, the movies, el cine. Name that movie. Yes. All right. Also, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. She knocked it out of the park. She nailed today's Say What soundbite. It's Chris Valrol. Excellent job. All right, we'll take a look at that Say What soundbite. We'll take a look at who it was, where it's from, and all that jazz in just a little bit. All right, here's your synopsis of today's movie. A man struggles with memories of his past, which include a wife he cannot remember and a nightmarish world no one else ever seems to wake up from. It's not Memento, FYI. Okay. I know at first I was thinking, it sounds like Memento, but it isn't. Okay. So a man struggles, lucha, right, with memories of his past, los recuerdos de su pasado, which include a wife he cannot remember, una mujer que no puede acordarse de ella, and a nightmarish world. Well, the word nightmare is pesadilla. So nightmarish es el adjetivo, no, de pesadilla, un mundo de pesadillas where no one else, nadie más, no one else ever seems to wake up from. Que la gente no se despierta de esta pesadilla. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Chris Valrol. The movie is Dark City. Dark City. And it's a movie that came out in 1998, and it stars Rufus Sewell. I don't know Rufus Sewell. Also, William Hurt. Who did he hurt? Okay. Kiefer Sutherland, excellent actor, Kiefer Sutherland, and one of my favorites, Jennifer Connelly. Excellent movie, came out in 1998 called Dark City, and it's got a pretty high rating on IMDb still. You know, so we're talking about 26, 27 years later, and the movie still has a 7.6 out of 10. So excellent job. Let's take a look at the scene from Dark City. Now, these are the first lines of the movie, okay? And it's a voiceover. You say, voz en off. First, there was darkness, tiniebla, oscuridad. Then came the strangers, los desconocidos. They were a race. Mira la palabra raza otra vez. They were a race as old as time itself, tan viejo como los tiempos, el tiempo mismo. They had mastered, dominados. They had mastered the ultimate technology. Y cuidado con esta palabra, porque no es skip ultimate, que lo he oído en el anuncio, es skip ultimate. Ultimate. No es mate, sino mit. Okay, y no es ul, es ultimate. Say it with me. They had mastered the ultimate technology, the ability to alterar, physical reality by will alone, con pura voluntad, solo con la voluntad. They called this ability tuning, but they were dying. Now, to tune is sintonizar, right? But they were dying. Estaban muriéndose. Their civilization was in decline. ¿Te suena? Declive, right? You say? Their civilization was in decline. And so they abandoned their world, seeking, to seek es buscar. We looked at the word yesterday, seeking a cure for their own mortality. Okay? Their endless journey, ahí tenemos un false friend. Journey no es jornada, es cruzada. Their endless journey brought them to a small blue world in the farthest corner of the galaxy. Our world, nuestro mundo. Here, they thought they had finally found what they had been searching for. And to search for or to seek. De hecho, what are you looking for? What are you searching for? What are you seeking? Seek no lo empleamos con una preposición, okay? And seek is an extremely irregular verb. Let's see if you know it. I know we've looked at it before. Every day I seek answers. Yesterday, I sought answers. And lately, I've sought answers. All right, the movie is Dark City. And, well, if you haven't seen it, it has a pretty damn good cast. And the premise sounds cool as well. Although I gave you some homework for the Christmas break to watch all the Mel Brooks classics and see if you get all those puns. And speaking of puns and jokes, I think you know what time it is now. It's time for your joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
All right. Let's take a look over here and see if you get today's jokes. Now, for some reason, and maybe you'll know why already. If not, you will know why before the end of the show. I've decided to make these jokes about the brain, el cerebro, right? The brain. I love how you call them sesos if it's food. Now, we don't have another word for them as food because we don't eat brains. Yeah, we don't. My wife loves brain. Yeah, for me, it seems like something out of Young Frankenstein. To eat brains. I don't know. It seems like a horror movie. All right, here we go. How does a brain say hello? How does a brain say hello? With a brain wave. No? A brain wave? It's funny. Una onda cerebral, right? An electrical impulse that happens inside of your brain, but also to wave is saludar, con un saludo de cerebro. How does a brain say hello? With a brain wave. Oh, man. All right. Here's another one for you. Where does a brain go to study? Where does a brain go to study? Easy. The hippocampus. No, the hippocampus. All right. Well, you say it's similar in Spanish. Hipocampo. Is that how you say that? This is a part of the brain. I mean, I don't remember. I remember studying all these words, but I don't remember exactly now what happens in each part of the brain. I'm not a neurosurgeon. But hippocampus, also a campus is un campus, where you study, right? So where do brains go to study? The hippocampus. All right. We'll move on, but only because we've got a couple birthdays to celebrate in famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right. Famous birthdays. Number one, this American singer was born today in 1940. And what a voice she has. And I'm not the only one who thinks it, because she has won 6 Grammy Awards, among others. 6 Grammy Awards. You heard right. She's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She is in the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. She has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And, well, some of her songs are Walk On By. Also, Alfie, another one called Don't Make Me Over. And all of those have been inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. So not only her, but her songs. So we're talking about a living legend. She was one of the biggest hit makers in the United States from 1955 to 1999. She's also a television host as well. She's done a little bit of everything. Number two, this actress was born in 1970. She made her acting debut in Once Upon a Time in America. She was also in Labyrinth. She was in The Rocketeer, also Dark City. You mean today's Name That Movie? Yes. Now, you'll probably definitely know who she is once I say this one. Requiem for a Dream, peliculón. Also, A Beautiful Mind. And many, many others, such as Hulk, Blood Diamonds, just an amazing actress. And she has stood the test of time because she has been acting since I can remember. I've kind of grown up and seen her grow up throughout my lifetime in movies. And last but not least, this American actress who is also a neuroscientist. That's the reason for the brain jokes. She played Blossom. Remember the sitcom Blossom? She was also in Big Bang Theory, where she played Amy Fowler. And she's somebody who made a big comeback. So she was huge in the show Blossom. Then she decided, well, I want to also be smart. I don't just want to, read scripts and be an actress. No offense to actresses or actors, but I also want to actually learn about, how the brain works. And she became a neuroscientist, which would later help her for her role in Big Bang Theory. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Chris Valrol. Number one, Dionne Warwick. The extremely talented Dionne Warwick. Number two, Jennifer Connelly. And number three, Mayim Bialik, who played Blossom and also Amy in Big Bang Theory. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Mayim Bialik in Big Bang Theory playing the character Amy. And she is talking about how she fell in love with Sheldon Cooper, how it was love at first sight, and how her love continues to grow. And she says, from the first moment in that coffee shop, I knew that there was something special between us. I felt something that day. And those feelings have only gotten stronger with time. I can't imagine loving you more than I do right now. Wow. Kind of romantic and heartfelt. Well, here she is, Mayim Bialik.
From the first moment in that coffee shop, I knew that there was something special between us. I felt something that day, and those feelings have only gotten stronger with time. I can't imagine loving you more than I do right now.
All right, well, amigos, we have reached the end of today's journey, at least here on the Show with No Name. The good thing, you've got tons of amazing shows, and I'm going to leave you in excellent hands with my friends the rest of the afternoon. So make sure you stay tuned to Vaughn Radio to continue learning and laughing. If you've got the Vaughn Radio app, it's simple. Also, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts. But remember, you can learn English all day, 24/7. You can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with insomnia and say, what do I do? I know. I'll listen to some Vaughn Radio and work on my English. Today, we're going to take a look at Dionne Warwick's song, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? Hey, it rhymes. Do you know the way to San Jose? It's a song that came out in 1968, and it starts off saying, do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long. So it's about somebody returning home, and she can't even remember how to get there. I may go wrong and lose my way, equivocarme, ¿no? De dirección. Y perder el camino and lose my way. Do you know the way to San Jose? I'm going back to find some peace of mind in San Jose. And some peace of mind is tranquilidad. I wish you all peace of mind, and we'll see you next week with more Show with No Name. Thank you so much, everybody. Keep up the wonderful work and enjoy. Ciao for now. Come on.
Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long.